Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Corbin Russwin. This is their part number L4-6pin-12. Let's take a look at this key blank. These key blanks are sold as each. This client happened to purchase a box of 50, and that's what they look like. Okay, a box of 50. Their part number is a bit different than the way that we set it, but the way that we set it is the way the catalog wants us to put it together. So let's take one out and take a look and see exactly what this is. And we're going to go over the links below this video as well to some really helpful product documentation. So first of all, this is a blank one side. DND, do not duplicate, on the other side. Okay, that's what is called visual key control. You put a stamp on the head of the key, and while there's no actual protection preventing this from being duplicated, there are certainly, it would be considered best practice within the locksmith community that if you walked in with this key, they would not duplicate it for you. Maybe it's an honor thing or an ethics thing, or maybe it could just be, I'm not duplicating that key for you. Whoever ordered that does not want the key duplicated, whether or not there's legal ramifications to it, even though I suppose there could be. So lots of instances you won't be able to get these cut. Okay. Now we would certainly cut them, but we would probably also make sure that the keying system is yours, and where cut keys would be shipped would be to that location, whatever the case might be. So this is an L4. Let's start with that. Let's dissect the part number. L4 is the keyway. L4 is the Corbin Russwin standard keyway. If you order a Corbin Russwin lock, it's going to come with an L4 keyway. The L4 is part of a very huge universe of Corbin, P.F. Corbin, Russell and Irwin, Corbin Russwin keyways that all go together. This is an L4. This is the stock keyway, the standard keyway. Unless you specify, that's what you're getting. This is also a 6-pin, 6-PIN. That means the length of the blade will accommodate cuts for 6 chambers. You can do this as a 5-pin, and you can also do it as a 7-pin. The blade height on the L4 is 0.345. And just for the sake of doing it, I can tell you the distance from the shoulder stop to the tip of the key blank, which is right at about 1.208. 1.208 from the shoulder stop to the very tip of the key blank, just for the sake of providing you that data, and if for no other reason. Just trying to get the camera to focus is the purpose of having the hand up in front of the camera. Okay. Now the -12 in the part number, that means that the head of the key is going to be it will say do not duplicate on one side, and the other side is blank. That's what the -12 means. Let's look at the 2 links below this video and really illustrate this graphically, visually, what we're talking about. Now let's dig in here. There will be a couple of links below this video when you get to it, and it's going to take you to a 2-page document that's here that shows you how to call out and how to order the key. So from pages 31 to 40 in what would be the full line catalog, which you can get to from the link at the manufacturer's page there, to product catalog. But we know that we're dealing with an L4. It's the standard keyway. We're doing a 6-pin. That's the length of the bow. That's the length of the blade. 5, 6, or 7-pin are available. The difference in chambers or pins is a very separate conversation. We know that we're doing a standard bow head rather than it being large or security, which is the 1 in the first value. The 2 in the second value tells us that we're dealing with do not duplicate. Okay, other side blank. That is exactly what this client ordered. L4 6-pin 12. Okay. The second page of the document shows you the L4 keyway. Talking about the keys, these keys are nickel silver, which is once upon a time was called German silver. In about maybe 1905 or so, Corbin was using ball bearings made of German silver to decrease significantly the friction of a key blank entering into the face of the plug, into the plug itself. But nickel silver, there'll be a brass plating over it. And the brass plating is actually nice because, well, it looks like a brass key, except that it has the advantages of being more durable, nickel silver. And if you're a locksmith, you like a brass-plated nickel silver key blank because you can file the top of the blade down so that you can reveal the silver underneath. And it is, you know, the brass being there also helps you determine, the point I'm trying to make is through the process of impressioning or working with cylinders and key blanks, a nickel silver yet brass plated can be advantageous. Now what's important to note on the L4 stock keyway is that it is part of a multiplex structure. There are 4 keyways that are all related to each other. There is a multi-section and all-section key. There are no cylinders that take these 3 up here, but if you had a scenario where you had the need for different keyways to segregate access, let's say you had a 4-story building, first, second, third, and fourth, 4 different tenants. Law firm, you know, on the first floor, architectural firm, consulting firm, you know, somebody else, whatever it is. But the owner of the building wanted to walk around with a single key blank. They could. They could use the L41 that will pass all of these locks. Anyway, just a fun fact that it's part of a multiplex system. For keyway multiplex, it's what they call a Z-class bidding. Now, what in the gospel does that mean? Well, there's another document down below called the depth and spacing chart. That's a 2-page document that will show you the fact that this is a Z-class. The L4 is part of that. And in 1970, Corbin they decided to switch from what would be called a 2-step system to a single-step system. So the Z-class is available in either System 70 or pre-System 70, and that what is called the depth and spacing chart for both options in the Z-class that do include the L4 keyway are linked to down below. A conversation about what the depth and spacing chart is, I think, is somewhat apparent. It tells you, it gives you all the dimensional properties of what cuts would be in a key, and to the locksmith, the increment and the single step information is incredibly important to know. And because Corbin Russwin has 2 different plug diameters that could be in play, it gives the locksmith very important information depending on what it is that you are, what system you're pinning in. And System 70 is very different than pre-System 70 because of the progression change that occurred in 1970, which is why they call it System 70. So that's a really handy document as well. Let's wrap up this video. Now, regarding this key blank, I'm partial to Corbin Russwin, and it's because I'm somewhat familiar with some of their material. And when you're familiar, I think, with something, you maybe lean towards it or gravitate towards it. They're good people at the factory. You can rely on them for technical support. They make a good product. They have literally been in business. Corbin has been, and Russell Irwin, Corbin Russwin, these people have been involved in the hardware industry since before the Civil War, for sure. So when you're dealing with somebody who has that much experience in making key blanks, you know, it's a name that you can trust. Corbin Russwin systems are installed in countless large places. It was Corbin who supplied all of the locks and cylinders to the Empire State Building when it was built. Just another interesting fun fact regarding that. If you have any questions on the Corbin L4 6-pin and a 12-bow sort of arrangement or any other Corbin Russwin product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.